So in this video, we're going to examine the ridiculousness of this character named Blue in the Jurassic World series, right? And consider the original Jurassic Park series was all about, showing us dinosaurs on the big screen. And they did a good job of educating us on species we didn't know were a big deal. I think before that, most people didn't really consider the raptor and all these other species. And this, the way I'm speaking is for those people out there who still believe that dinosaurs are a real thing. Me personally, I don't think dinosaurs ever existed. And I can demonstrate that in a separate video. But this video is really just to focus on the ridiculousness of Blue. And it might even support that idea. If you stay to the end, you might be able to understand, what I'm showing with Blue. But the newer series focuses on DNA hybrids, made up dinosaurs. There's plenty of dinosaurs they could have went with, but it seems like that every new iteration of these films, the newer ones, they have to make a new dinosaur that didn't exist or doesn't exist in so-called real life, right? And then they even have a point where they have this girl who has like dinosaur or DNA mixed with dinosaur blood. And this kind of idea goes on and on, right? But the real ticker, the thing that I'm surprised people didn't get up out of the movie theaters and walk away with is when they started showing that these raptors, specifically this one raptor named Blue, could literally be trained like dogs, right? It starts off in the first film of this new series where this guy is training or supposedly raised this raptor named Blue from childbirth, and then trained him to be a raptor that can follow commands and all. And then it turns out that before you know it, the raptor is actually doing military missions with this guy. It gets ridiculous. It gets to the point where at first he is giving verbal commands to the raptor, and the raptor seems like he can understand the verbal commands, like simple commands. Then it gets to the point where he's saying complex sentences to the raptor, and the raptor literally seems like he understands. Like, I think in the original one, he's like, "Hey, Blue, come here," and Blue will come. And then it gets to the point where he's like, "Blue, don't worry, I'll save your daughter," and Blue literally understands that he's going to save his daughter. Like, it gets out of hand. Then they even have points where there's nonverbal communication. There's a scene in one of the films where this Indominus Rex starts approaching both of them, and Blue looks at Owen, and somehow through nonverbal communication, it already came to the point that I'm going to help you fight this Indominus, and then they actually have like a strategy, all just with a head nod and a look. And this is silly. It even gets to the point that the T-Rex has to join in a fight and help them out, right? And then after they beat this Indominus, the raptor Blue ends up looking at the T-Rex like, "Let my friends go." And the T-Rex just lets the meal just stay there. And he says, "Okay, I'll walk away from this." And that's how ridiculous it gets. And the crazy thing is the audience is buying it. They're loving it, right? And I realize that they'll never be able to challenge the idea of dinosaurs if they're willing to believe this reenactment of what they're seeing here with this literal dinosaur playing a dog. So what we have presented in Blue is the idea of Sirius the dog star. And Sirius the dog star is a big blue star that's usually seen in the summer night sky, but it's also hidden in films as a character usually, or reference whenever there's something supernatural going on, something along the lines of time traveling or portal opening. And we don't have the elements of portal opening or time travel in this series, but we do have the supernatural, right? With the idea of dinosaurs, whether you believe that's real or not. But they take it a step further in this series where they have hybrid dinosaurs or dinosaurs that don't exist supposedly in nature being made into characters in this film. And then you also have dinosaurs now trainable like dogs. So we have that Sirius the dog star story checked. And there's even a scene in one of the films where the baby Blue is chasing a fox, which is a dog. And that scene was put in the film to reference the Sirius dog star idea for those who know what to look for. And it's funny because the toy that they sell with Owen and the baby Blue also comes with the fox, to point to that this is a Sirius dog star character. And you see this character, Chris Pratt, in other films where he has a reference or Sirius dog star character alongside of him. But in this film, it's telling the story of Orion the Hunter. That's why we have a character named Owen, which sounds similar, or it starts with the same letter as Orion the Hunter, where they're chasing down a giant. And you see this in other series as well, where the character, male or female, will have a dog accompanying them, and they will be hunting a giant or something, a threat bigger than them. And it's really just a play or a retelling or personification of the story of Orion the Hunter and Sirius the Dog Star. You know, one thing that's funny to me, there's this guy who works with Owen who every time the dinosaurs get a chance, the raptors get a chance, they're like ready to eat this guy. But when Owen's there, they're kind of just like ready to let Owen go. And the funny thing is, this guy seems like he spends more time with the dinosaurs than Owen does. In fact, almost every scene, he's the one like washing them, feeding them. You know, Owen just comes along to like train them like once and twice, but they're ready to eat this other guy like nothing, right? Immediately. And I just find that funny, especially considering that this other guy was the one who predicted the pandemic.
Got 19! Delta. And she's a girl.
So in closing, like I don't know if people will ever really understand the concept and the complexity of lies associated with the dinosaur story. A lot of people still hold on to it like it's true when there's so much evidence. Just a little bit of poking around, you can kind of see that something's not right with this story that we're told about dinosaurs, right? And then the producers have gotten so bold that now they're willing to say, oh, they're buying that. Let's just make up fake any type of dinosaurs. Let's just make the dinosaurs trainable. Let's actually just change their behaviors to being a dog. Let's reenact the stars through these characters. And it's going over most people's heads that you're not actually watching a dinosaur film anymore. You're watching the story of Orion the Hunter and Sirius the Dog Star.